So, a couple of things. When he's at 118 pounds as a bantamweight, Nonito Donaire always has height and reach advantages, and it's very important he utilizes it. The other number, of course, is that age at 40. Santiago, interestingly, 27, is an 11-year vet, having become a professional boxer at 16. What does Donaire have left? But remember, before he lost to Inoue this last time, he was beating top 118-pounders.
With the official introductions, here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, from the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Premier Boxing Champions presents the first of our world title attractions. It is sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts, the ultimate one-stop shop for all of your automatic supplies. Everything for your vehicle in one convenient place. That's O'Reilly Auto Parts. And The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The Legend of Dracula is born. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, only in theaters August 11th. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC, President Mauricio Suleiman, the supervisor Miguel Angel de Pablo. Our three judges scoring from ringside. From New York, Max DeLuca. From Nevada, Chris Migliori, and from New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Introducing our third man to the ring, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Celestino Ruiz. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black and white trunks, hailing from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. He weighed in at a ready 117.5 pounds. His record stands at 27 wins, 3 losses, and 5 draws, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making his second attempt at a world title. Please welcome the current WBC #3 ranked bantamweight in the world, introducing Alejandro Alex Santiago. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner in this vacant world title attraction, wearing purple trunks with white trim, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Bohol in the Philippines. He weighed in at 117.25 pounds with a record of 42 wins and 7 losses. He has 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the renowned 4-division world champion in his 23rd world title appearance. Introducing the current WBC #1 bantamweight contender and the future Hall-of-Famer, Nonito Donaire. Once again, our referee in charge is Celestino Ruiz, now to give instructions.
Let's go, Nino. Okay, guys, the trunk's a little high up here. We're good here. We're good here. Estamos bien aquí. Y aquí estamos bien. I gave you guys your instruction in the dressing room. I expect a clean, fair fight, start to finish. Pedir las instrucciones en el camerino, quiero una pelea limpio y protéjase siempre. Touch up. Good luck. Suerte.
The first of 2 championship fights here tonight. Referee Celestino Ruiz, with 16 years pro experience, working his 369th professional fight. I think Nonito Donaire's almost had that. No. Hey, listen to this, though. As I wait for the bell, while Ruiz is working his 369th professional fight, this is Donaire's 50th professional fight. Round 1. His 300th as a pro.
Hey, the numbers are extraordinary.
They really are.
That's the part that's fascinating. So for Santiago here in this fight, it is intriguing. He is a fighter that can fight from the outside, but in this fight, he's going to want to get inside.
Most definitely, especially because he doesn't have the reach advantage. But at the same time, I don't blame him for wanting to go in too close because Donaire has that devastating power.
Yeah, Victor Hugo wrote 40 is the old age of youth. Donaire looking to turn back the clock and begin a fourth reign at 118 pounds. And it's a boxing cliche. The power is the last to go. And Donaire possesses one of the best left hooks in the sport.
Joe Louis once said you can run, but you can't hide. That applies to that left hook of Donaire. You can run in there, but you cannot hide from that hook.
The jab from Santiago, who says he's matured a lot more and grown as a fighter since he challenged Anca Haas back in 2018. And you know what? His son was born 2 months ago. He says he's dedicating this fight to him and his entire family. Of course, it makes him want it even more.
Yeah, this is the pace that obviously, favors Donaire. He wants to fight at this pace. He's flat-footed now. He's going to be trying to pressure you and wait for the right opening. Again, Santiago has to keep busy with that jab and keep him on his toes.
Donaire is 13-2 at 118 pounds. Both losses came against Naoya Inoue, who knocked out Donaire in the second round of their rematch last June in Japan. He said he gambled in that fight and lost, and, well, looking to continue his remarkable career. He said one of the reasons he's continuing his career is despite all the accolades, all the accomplishments, he's yet to be an undisputed champion. And hey, headline tonight, undisputed title in the main event. Donaire would love to be undisputed at 118. Double jab from Santiago. There's that left hook to the body by Donaire, but Santiago doing well with the jab. And what did they say? Don't hook with a hooker?
Yeah, but you know what? It's funny you're saying that. I was just thinking it, except, Santiago also has a good hook.
Yes,
so
he does.
It's not as if he can't land that punch, but yeah, you're playing with fire with Donaire when you do that.
Yeah, he's got a better overhand right. I think you should stick to that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Abner.
Yeah, just stick to the jab, keep busy. There it is, the overhand right, and then, try to push Donaire back.
Stop at the bell. 10 segundos.
There's another left hook rip to the body by Donaire as we end round one.
Take a look at what these men need to do for Nonito Donaire. Wants to control the range and use his jab, and he did control the range for the most part in that round one. Does not want to get on the ropes. Santiago is a very, very good attacker when he gets you on the ropes. And we talked about it, of course. That left hook of Donaire has created multiple knockdowns and knockouts. As for Santiago, I didn't really do that much in the round one, getting on the inside. I still think he's going to need to do it. He has a really good double left hook, but the place to do it is on the inside where he goes to the body and the head. And the overhand right, which Abner alluded to, is a very nice weapon for him.
Round number two for a vacant title at 118 pounds. Nonito Donaire continuing to defy Father Time. He has in his corner, his chief second, his wife, Rachel. He actually runs his own training camps and takes care of whatever needs to be done. And man, considering what he's been able to do, maybe, you would never really, Abner, you would never want to train yourself, but maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, I mean, and she's been part of the team, obviously, I think manager for quite some time now, years. And I mean, if we want to keep the money in-house, I mean, that's the best way, no doubt.
You look at the stats and Al with that, the totals in round one. We know that Santiago is also economical, but he is busier than Donaire, and that was evident in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, Donaire only averages 42 punches around these days, and so we expected Santiago to be more, but he's pumped up the volume a little bit.
Yeah, I like when Santiago jumps in and out really quick. You can't go too back linear because Donaire will take advantage, just as he did moments ago with the 1-2. Especially if you're in that distance, you got to stay a little bit further than that if you're Santiago.
A pace that definitely behooves Donaire coming off almost a year, recovering from that devastating knockout loss against Inoue. The second time that he's been KO'd. The first came against Nicholas Walters back in 2014.
Yeah, you can make the case if Donaire had never left 118 pounds, and he said he's always been able to make it, he would have never lost a fight because it's all come above, except for Inoue, above 118 pounds.
Nasty.
Yeah, Donaire definitely looking for that hook now.
Nasty exchange, Abner.
Yeah.
Both of them sitting down on their combinations.
Yeah, and it's Donaire that is noticing this. Santiago is sitting down on his punches a little bit more, but that will give Donaire the opportunity to land that left hook.
Donaire's also starting to establish his jab a little bit better. He didn't throw too much in the first round. It is intriguing that Santiago has really made it a point to fight on the outside.
Of course, Donaire, a noted counter puncher, so always looking to counter, but also goes for the jab. Under 30 seconds left here in the second round.
I think Santiago's waiting for the right time to press. Maybe he's trying to...
Nice counter left hook upstairs by Donaire.
Hoping that Donaire tires out and maybe this power demolishes a bit, but
Man.
again, yeah, Santiago needs to start pressing.
Santiago is really sitting down on his punches. They don't always land, but he throws with bad intentions against the veteran.
Nice.
Donaire rips a beautiful left hook to the liver, and there's that overhand right. Good end to round 2 for Santiago. At ringside, we're joined by Brian Custer, Jim Gray, Jimmy Lennon Jr., and our entire Showtime pay-per-view team from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Cannot wait for that main event. Yes, Terrence Crawford, the slight betting favorite, but has evenly matched a fight as you would want when it comes to the stakes and the significance of that battle. Hey, this fight with high stakes as well, a vacant title at 118 pounds. Donaire looking to make history. Santiago looking to, well, ensure a better life for his newborn son.
You know, Santiago is trained by Romulo Quirarte, who is one of the best trainers in the sport of boxing.
Yes.
And, of course, you know, Abner, one of the best trainers in Mexico. Sometimes overshadowed by Nacho Beristain, but so many champions have gone through his gym.
He's my brother Romulo's favorite trainer as well.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. As well he should be.
Triple jab from Santiago. Sorry, Abner. Go ahead, my man.
Two interesting things about, you know, this fight. The trainer, Don Romulo, trained my brother years ago.
Oh, wow.
And Nonito Donaire, I was going to fight him once upon a time when I was a 118-pounder. We're talking about ages. And that fight just never happened. I just, you know, it would have been a great fight if we you know, ever would have laced the gloves.
As Ed McMahon used to say, I did not know that.
There's that lead overhand right by Santiago. Not trying to draw.
Oh, there it is.
That cut. Santiago over his right eye. The vaunted power of Nonito Donaire with one punch. He creates a cut, and now looking to create a dramatic finish.
And that is why Santiago not yet wanted to get in the inside. Donaire really timed that left hook.
Lead left uppercut by Santiago. The dogged determination of the diminutive Dynamo. Biting down now in his gum shield after facing Donaire and tasting the power of the 40-year-old veteran.
And Santiago is a dog. You know, he's a rough customer there. So if you're going to think of a fighter that might be able to get through that little mini crisis, he's one that might do it. Well, look at that body shot by Donaire.
Yeah, so far it seems like Santiago's out of that danger right now. It doesn't seem hurt, but again, he's still in that position where he can get hit.
And that speaks also to the veteran, the guile and the craftiness of Donaire. But boy, it's that left hand. And there's a right hand.
Yeah, Santiago has to be more lateral movements. He has to move his head. Again, he's stepping back straight, and Donaire is landing that right hand.
This is the thing about Donaire. You know, he lost those 2 fights to Inoue, but in between that, we saw him win the Bantamweight Championship, beat another top Bantamweight. He can fight anybody in this division.
Counter left hook upstairs for Donaire. The left hook doing damage in this round for the veteran. But Santiago bounced back well.
Well, the Donaire left hook always makes itself known, and here's the counter shot. And it knocked him back. It stunned Santiago for sure. And yet another look at it, Abner. We'll see it come to fruition.
Yeah, Santiago was letting off his hands really well, feeling comfortable. But then again, a nice timed left hook by Donaire. I mean, he's known by that. He'll let you, get your shots in just for him to land that one.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's a small cut. No big deal. No big deal. Just keep pressuring. Pressure on him. And keep with your movement. That's all he has, the left hook and the right. So keep your hands up. Be applied. Be applied.
Este round lo perdimos. Vamos a recuperarlo.
Round number 4 scheduled for 12 for a vacant title at 118 pounds. Donaire looking to become a champion in this weight class for the 4th time, a 4-division champion. Santiago went to a split draw with Jerwin Ancajas when he battled for a 115-pound strap back in 2018, looking to become a champion for the first time here tonight against one of his idols.
Now, if you're Santiago and you got through that one bad moment and you hope you can get through any others, your mission is to take Donaire into these later rounds. He is 40 years old. You're hoping tonight's the night when he fades, and if you can keep him going in this fight, you have a chance to make something happen.
Yeah, if you're going to plan on boxing these, few, 4, 5, 6 rounds and then pressure, I mean, you want to start jabbing to the body, kill the body a little bit of the older Donaire.
Very good point. And 30% of the punches landed normally by Santiago are body punches, but he hasn't been in a position to throw too many of those yet. But you're right, the jab is one way to do it.
Donaire has doubled Santiago in terms of total punches landed.
And even when he jabs to the body, I'm sorry,
no, go ahead.
Santiago, Donaire leaves an opening for Santiago's overhand right. There he was.
Beautiful
He barely
jab.
missed it, though, but he's got to keep trying that.
Sharp double jab from Santiago on the left hook. There's that right hand and left that backs up Donaire. So Santiago with 14 knockouts out of his 27 wins, not known as a devastating puncher, definitely not having the power of a Donaire, but making his punches count.
You still want to test that chin from Donaire. I mean, we saw how devastating, knockout against Inoue. Yeah. The body can only take so much.
Under a minute left here in the 4th. There is a mouse under the right eye of Donaire. Both of them now showing vestiges of a battle. That punch, that left hook that drew the cut around the right eye of Santiago in round 3.
The funny thing about Donaire is, like, even in this fight, he hasn't thrown that many left hooks. The one made a big difference. Just when you think the punch is in mothballs, it comes back.
I think he might have to do a little bit about, from conditioning also. When you let go of so many powerful shots, you do get tired. So I think he's just waiting for the right one.
Very good point, Adler. It's a really good point.
Shotgun jab from Santiago. And we are 1/3 of the way through this championship fight. And left uppercut landed on the draw. Right hand by Santiago.
There's some really good moments in that last round. Here is that nice little uppercut toward the end of the round from Donaire. Kind of a half hook, half uppercut.
This is round 5.
When Santiago starts letting that jab go, it's really effective, really good. But the only thing is that he's jabbing with Donaire. He's got to initiate the jab. Start jab, jab, double jab, overhand right. Be a little bit more busy with it.
Donaire with the advantages in height, reach, experience, and that shot-for-shot power. And he showed some of that power in round 3 with that left hook. But Santiago right in front of him, looking to lead with that left uppercut, but got countered and gets countered again with the left hook from Donaire.
He overreached. He's got to be careful. He reached with that uppercut and almost got caught by Donaire's left hook.
Stiff jab back Santiago to the ropes.
when we did Donaire's fight with Gaballo, you know, you were just waiting on pins and needles for that hook, right? And that's what we're kind of doing now, too. It's been there a couple of times, but you never know. Oh, nice right by Santiago, but you never know when that's going to arrive.
Well, the last time Donaire became a champion, 118 pounds, at the Punch Bowl in Carson, California, May 2021 against Nordine Bali. Santiago was on the undercard, picking up a victory against Juan Medina, and scoring a knockdown with a series of punches in the second round. So showed power and was on the undercard of a big moment for Donaire. Now Santiago would like to steal that thunder from Donaire here tonight.
You mentioned he had that one shot against Ancajas, the questionable draw, 11-1 since, only a questionable loss to Russell. You know, he's a fighter that's been right there in the press.
Yeah, he better pray this doesn't go the distance, because the judges don't seem to appreciate his work in the past. With 5 draws, there's split decisions, majority decisions. Alex Santiago,
he might get a draw.
earning every single cent he has made in the sport. There's a right hand by Donaire.
He has not fared well with the judges.
Ooh,
nice hook by Santiago.
There's
wow.
the left hook from Santiago that momentarily bothered Donaire. Another left hook, but then Donaire goes downstairs. Beautiful combination by Santiago. Right uppercut, left hook.
See, when Santiago lets his hands go, 3-4 punch combination, is that he has Donaire on his back foot. You want to continue to do that.
Uppercut by Santiago. Lead right hand left, splits the guard of Donaire. Another close round here between Nonito Donaire and Alex Santiago. Donaire always ready to tee off with that counter left hook. Oh, right uppercut, left hand. Good stuff from Santiago.
Best of luck. We'll talk to you afterwards. Thank you. All right, Mauro, back out to you.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Almost chilling there watching Terrence Crawford wrap his hands. Very quiet, a man who has carried his power up 3 divisions, has won his last 10 fights, all championship fights, via knockout. He will take on Errol Spence in the much anticipated main event, but here comes Santiago, round number 6.
Kind of a quiet poignancy to that moment with him. You know, Santiago, I think, had maybe a fight-changing moment or two in that last round. We're going to see if he's starting to maybe put Donaire in a spot he doesn't want to be in.
And it seems like he is. Obviously, towards the end of the last round, Santiago put Donaire, not in trouble, but definitely bother him by just pushing him back like he is right now. But again, Donaire is always dangerous with that left hook, even when he's put on his back foot or when he's on the ropes.
And there's a Santiago jab, snapping Donaire's head back, and counter left from Donaire. Oh, a nice jab from Donaire. They're exchanging sharp jabs.
You know, Donaire has changed the trajectory of that counter left a little bit. It's more a little bit of an uppercut now, and I think maybe he's finding something that he thinks that part might land.
Experienced fighter than Donaire, maybe he's trying to let Santiago feel comfortable and, you know, put himself in a position where...
Well, despite being only 27, this is Santiago's 36th professional fight.
Turned pro at 16. Yeah. These are interesting rounds, and you know, they could be going any way because they're close, and you know, the action is intriguing.
There's a right uppercut, left hook to the body, and Donaire goes fishing for that left hook.
Even the ones that miss make you shudder.
Yeah. Good eye from Santiago. He noticed that, he saw, he pulled straight back and was able to escape from those left hooks.
Final minute of the first half of this fight to crown a new champion at 118 pounds. Donaire's been a 3-time bantamweight champion in the past, a 4-division champ. 112, 118, 122, and 126 pounds against a guy, Santiago, who's had one title opportunity. Good defense there, good head movement from Santiago, avoiding the right. But that was a split draw against Ancajas. Under 30 seconds now in the 6th, double jab from Santiago. And we had that calm in the dressing room of Crawford, a bit calm here in the 6th round of this championship fight. We'll see what's in store in the second half Will Donaire make history again, or will Santiago go home to his newborn son a champion?
Always a danger on the inside of clashes of heads, and in this instance, Santiago kind of doing a bull rush, got Donaire on his chin. Luckily, they didn't hit each other around the eyebrows.
Bring your feet with you. Your feet are trailing behind. I need your feet underneath you to get that power. You hear me? Let's go. Come on. Breathe. Breathe. I need you to breathe. You got a 0. I need your feet to move. Do you hear me?
Julius Jinko in the corner there, they brought him on board to help with defense. They said, you know, Donaire said, me, my wife Rachel, who helps, we're more offensive-minded. We wanted him to help us a little bit with defense, and they hope that has helped.
This is round 7. We begin the second half of this championship affair. Nonito Donaire and Alex Santiago. Santiago in the black with white trim, and Nonito Donaire in the purple with white trim. And Al, let's take a look at the unofficial scores, courtesy of our unofficial scorer, Steve Farwood.
Yeah, Steve sees this fight for Santiago by a bit. Some of those early rounds he gave to Santiago before Santiago has started this kind of impressive run in the last couple of rounds.
Timeout by the referee, clash of heads.
Déjame ver. Tú está bien, pero está sangrando mucho.
Que me limpies, no.
¿Ah?
Que me limpies, no. No, pero
Ven, el doctor, no.
¿No estoy bien?
Sí. He's okay. I guess he just wipe it down a little bit. That was a headbutt. Accidental headbutt.
We'll look at it. We saw one in the last round that didn't create this. This time it does.
This time it was Donaire with the head.
Yeah, before it had been Santiago. And a point that if this fight would be stopped because of that cut at this juncture, they would go to the scorecards.
And this might change a little bit of the tempo of the fight. It was Santiago pressuring, but now that Donaire sees that cut, he might go for it.
Chief for ringside position, Dr. Damon Zavala, and prior to this fight, Santiago had only been cut once. That was against Willibaldo Garcia back in 2020. A head clash over the left eye. So here he faces adversity against a man who will definitely try to exploit that. 1.5 minutes left in the 7th. Nice counter jab from Santiago. And a lot of marking around the eyes of Nonito Donaire. And of course, the head clashes go 2 ways. There's a left hook by Santiago and a right hand, and Santiago beginning to put it on the veteran Donaire.
Yeah, when he gets on that offense, he's really good. Santiago, he lets those hands go, and Donaire taking those shots. Not the same reflexes as before.
But then what is Donaire known for? Counter punching and a left hook out.
I think we know that.
Yeah, it's like you watch, that's the thing with a guy like Donaire. You never know. There's a right uppercut on the inside, and you wonder again, not to continue to harp on it, but I mean, Nonito Donaire, 22 years as a professional prize fighter. The wear and tear, and after what happened in Japan a year ago, and now Alex Santiago looking to take advantage of the long layoff and the fact that, he's coming off a knockout loss, and he's 40 years old.
Stop at the bell, let's campana.
A ver, hijo.
These last few rounds, Santiago has had some really good moments. Beautiful move there, jabbing to the body and coming with the right hand right over it. He's a very complete and clever fighter, and some good combination work there by him. And this is where the heads would come together, and that created the cut over the left eye of Santiago, and they'll go to work on that here in between rounds.
If you continue it that way. Don't worry about the cuts. They're not in a dangerous spot, okay? We came here to win, okay? Let me work the cuts and don't worry about it. It's your moment. It's your moment. You'll stop them if you keep going this way.
Santiago usually averages 55 punches per round. Not as many tonight in terms of the average, but doing a good job. And despite throwing more and having some eye-catching shots, you look at the stats and the numbers don't tell all of the story, but Donaire's still leading in terms of total punch connects. Yeah,
according to show stats, he has an edge in that department.
Not here.
Yeah, but not on Steve Farhood's scorecard. He believes that Santiago is actually building up a margin here. And, you know, a lot of those were close rounds, so you wouldn't be shocked if the judges had a slightly different, the official judges had a slightly different view than Steve.
Yeah, again, the jab from Santiago is getting in really good, a lot easier than before. We sense that Donaire, you know, doesn't have the same movement, especially in this later rounds.
Throwing down.
And even that left hook, Santiago took it really well.
Watch that forearm, Nino.
Lead left hook by Santiago, and Donaire swing and a miss. Nice 1-2 combination, backs Donaire up. Now the pressure beginning to build. Santiago putting more and more pressure on Donaire, and Donaire unable to counter. 4-punch combination by Santiago, his best sequence of the fight.
And Santiago has been known to close very well in fights. Against Russell, he had great success. It was a 10-rounder. Against Ancajas, he did well in the later rounds. So he's a fighter who can close fights extremely well.
And while corner told him not to worry about the cuts, you want to make sure you do as much as you can, because you never know how those cuts can impact you.
And you know what? He wants to bank any rounds he needs to, because in case it's stopped and they have to go to the scorecard.
Exactly. Another uppercut lands for Santiago. And Abner, you look at Nonito Donaire again, continues to hunt for the left hook, but definitely showing the wear and tear here in this fight.
Definitely showing the wear and tear in this, especially this 8th round. Santiago having his way with his big shots, getting in easier body shots, uppercuts, and really look at the body language. Really comfortable, Santiago.
Santiago will not be deterred here in round 8.
Stop. And he's now already thrown 17 more punches in this round than Donaire, much busier and setting a much quicker pace.
Again, anything can happen in any given moment with the powerful puncher like Donaire, but this is a perfect example of, you know, when you see a fighter just fading in one fight.
Yes, and Santiago continues to headhunt successfully. Tremendous round 8 for Alex Santiago. Let's go to Jim Gray. Calm before what fans are hoping is a storm of striking in the main event. Errol Spence Jr., one of the most physically imposing and strongest welterweights, and he looks to become undisputed champion against Terrence Crawford. Well, Donaire wants to become undisputed champion at 118 pounds, but he is in tough against a very tough Alex Santiago.
You know, we talked about the fact that Santiago against Sherwin Ancajas, beauty. You know, 5 years ago was of championship level because he fought the champion to a draw that he could easily have gotten a decision. He is a top bantamweight, and he's showing tonight why that is the case. And he's in there against a legend and still a good fighter. So, you know, it speaks well of what he's doing.
You know, we have the vacant Ring Magazine welterweight title up for grabs in the main event, and we talk about ring rankings here. You have Donaire at number 3, and you just spoke to it. Nice left hook from Santiago right hand. Santiago ranked number 5, so like you say, upper crust.
Right now, Santiago using that pressure from Donaire to his advantage. Donaire seemed like he was going in with bad intentions, and he is.
Fucking right hand from Donaire. Left uppercut.
He may have hurt Santiago with that punch.
Yeah, since the opening of the round, you noticed that Donaire was going out for a mission, which is, try to land a big shot.
Donaire with those small steps, putting the pressure on incrementally on Santiago, who punches first. There goes, sits down on a combination. Double jab. Santiago showcasing all of his wares in this fight tonight.
A fight that recently came to my mind because there's a story about him. Marco Carvajal, who as a veteran went to fight Jorge Arce in Mexico, lost every round until he landed a big knockout punch to knock out Arce, much younger, much stronger. So something to remember as we move on in this fight.
And
it can happen.
And the one and only time on SHOBOX that I filled in for Barry Tompkins, John Molina, Mickey Bay. Mickey Bay wins every round, 10th and final round. John Molina knocks him out.
Yeah, so we're always got that cautionary tale in the back of our minds.
Yeah, and there's no doubt it could definitely happen in this fight. Again, Donaire, old man power, never goes away. If anything, he says that this power has gotten even better now.
Watch that forearm, watch that forearm.
Oh, good counter right hand there by Donaire. And Santiago ducks underneath that sweeping left hook. Donaire almost caught him with that one. Donaire marching forward now, 15 seconds left in the ninth.
This is creating a very entertaining part of this fight.
Beautiful stuff from Santiago. And again, Donaire whipping away with the left hook. There's a right uppercut, another uppercut. Alex Santiago putting it on. Nonito Donaire.
Early in that last round, Santiago came out and he was continuing the momentum he's had in recent rounds. Kind of half landing that left hook and whipping the right hand around it and kind of pushing Donaire around physically. That was a beautiful right that landed to the temple of Donaire's head. Then Donaire started to have his moments. Nice counter left hand on the inside, and yet another one. That one landed on the temple and a nice counter. So there you see Donaire doing the kind of work he's capable of, but Santiago wasn't hurt as badly as we thought he might have been. He came back toward the end of that last round, doing great body work and putting Donaire on the ropes where he doesn't want to be.
Alex Santiago, proud native of Tijuana. Notables in the boxing ring include the first Mexican to win titles in 4 divisions, El Terrible Eric Morales. Santiago would love to join him as a champion.
Yeah, Santiago needs to continue to throw punches like that in combinations because Donaire is not gonna, he's not gonna sit there and throw punches with him. He's gonna wait for the right moment. But again, Santiago, if he puts him on his back foot and busy like that, I mean, that's a chance that Donaire lands that shot.
And Donaire, who's been 12-round distance 10 times, he's 6-4. Santiago's only been 12 once in that draw to Ancajas, but as we point out, he closes well in his 10-round fights and did close well against Ancajas.
Check left hook from Santiago and Abner. With Santiago, the combination, sitting down on his punches but not neglecting the jab. We see because of his physical dimensions, you would expect him to try to fight on the inside. Of course, dangerous against a counterpuncher like Donaire, but he's showing everything tonight. The boxing, the pressure fighting, and some power as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's done really fought in the inside, fight in the outside. Right now, choosing to fight in the outside. But what I like about Santiago is that when he lets his hands go combinations, boom, he gets back on the jab really well. Doesn't let Donaire get off first.
Fantastic punch placement by Santiago.
Yeah, that's really a good point. I mean, he's gone downstairs, upstairs, and thrown every kind of punch.
Yeah, you want to keep Donaire busy with the jab. Keep him entertained. Ooh.
The swelling around the eyes of Donaire, the veteran trying to hold his ground here, trying to make one last stand. Got clipped with a right cross by Santiago. 60 seconds now left in the 10th round. Under a minute left from the championship rounds.
And I'm noticing that Santiago was able to counterpunch a lot easier in this round.
Good footwork as well by Santiago. Resets, high guard, leads with the jab. Man, beautiful combination by Santiago and avoids the counter.
Yeah, classic jab, straight right hand. And we said he can fight from the outside. He's good at it.
You learn the textbook, you're gonna be okay.
And you wouldn't think he would because he's a smaller fighter. He doesn't have the reach, but he boxes really well from the outside.
And with that excellent trainer that we talked about, he's ready.
Championship rounds are upon us for a vacant title at 118 pounds. Nonito Donaire, Alex Santiago. Chance the Rapper in attendance for tonight's big fight. Saw him at Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia earlier this year. You don't want no problem with him when we definitely don't want any problems with Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. And, well, Chance had a bit of a problem with the basketball. Three-time Super Bowl champion Shannon Sharpe on hand, taking in the festivities tonight across sports, entertainment, music. While you talk about boxing fans, a student of the game, it's always game time. Damian Lillard, 7-time NBA All-Star guard for the Portland Trailblazers. Question is that where he will remain? And Abner Mares, good friend, Leo Santa Cruz, their rivalry was in fuego. And, well, we continue to say hello to all kinds of luminaries, including a former unified welterweight champion in Keith Thurman. In fact, the last unified welterweight fight was Thurman, Danny Garcia back in 2017.
Now coming into this 11th round, I'm sure that they told Donaire, or at least he's aware that he's behind on the scorecards. And really now he definitely has to go out and look for that knockout. Or at least, you know, what I'm seeing.
Now, and you know, I would tend to agree he might well be a cautionary reminder that those early rounds were
really close,
kind of close. How close, we don't know. So we don't know if he's how far behind he may or may not be.
Here's something that's not close. In the last 2 rounds, Santiago has had a 31-14 edge in punches landed.
Yeah, there's no question he's built up momentum.
Oh, there's a counter left hook by Donaire in the right hand. And boy, is he ever, according to our unofficial scorer, Steve Farhood, Donaire needs a patented knockout in order to make history again.
I'm sorry, but Santiago always has a response for it. When he takes that hook, he comes back with the heavy shot himself.
Well, that's the part that's impressive. I mean, has Donaire landed the perfect left hook yet? I don't know, but he has landed some hard ones, and Santiago has sustained past those punches.
Yeah, the only time Santiago's been down in his career was on my birthday, 2013, December 21st. Hector Flores, left hook in the first round. So that was a long time ago, and he is looking better and better here tonight.
And it's not your birthday tonight.
Not tonight. It's my birthday every day. Come on now, it's always.
I like to think of it as...
I'm a time billionaire, Al.
Yeah, exactly.
Penultimate round, 1:11 left in a... Is it a coming out party for Alex Santiago, Abner Mares?
I think everybody feels like it's his birthday today because of where we're getting tonight. A treat.
Yeah, well put.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm liking Santiago right now. I like the aggressiveness, the accuracy, well-placed punches that he's doing.
Left hook to the liver.
Yeah, but again, a Donaire that is never going to stop coming, or trying at least.
Imagine a Mexican-based fighter going to the liver with a left hook. Unbelievable.
Never heard of.
You know, Santiago, and it's funny you're talking about that. Normally 30% of the punches he lands into the body. In the last 4 or 5 rounds, he started to really get those body punches in.
Another electrifying combination from Santiago. Able to reset, stay at the proper distance, and he's starting to put together those combinations more and more, starting to find his way inside, put his weight on the fading Nonito Donaire. Overhand right from Santiago. 12th and final round is on deck, and Alex Santiago feeling himself.
Well, fantastic round for Santiago. Here's where Donaire lands that beautiful left hook, but as Abner points out, when that happens to Santiago, he comes back on his own usually, and even though that right got mixed in and later in the round, Santiago was able to turn that round completely to his advantage, using the jabs, the straight right hands. And Mauro made this point earlier, great arsenal of punches by him.
Come on.
Everything, with everything. Come out with everything. If you want to be world champion, let's go.
Great sign of respect and sportsmanship. Of course, we mentioned Alex Santiago growing up idolizing Nonito Donaire. Tonight he's trying to defeat his idol and become a champion for the first time, and he may very well be 2 minutes and 45 seconds away from doing so.
And you know, it's intriguing. Here we are in round 12, and according to Steve Farhood, certainly Santiago way ahead in his unofficial scorecard. Here's the interesting part. Nonito Donaire at age 40, while he is probably behind in this fight, has sustained over 11 plus rounds against this young man who's putting on a good offensive clinic.
Now, considering what we continue to experience, unfortunately, in this wonderful sport of ours, we have to put emphasis on unofficial scorecard.
There's no question, while we talked about some early rounds being close, since round 6 or 7, I mean, Santiago has just dominated this fight.
Really dominated. And I mean, the fact that Donaire hasn't gone down, I mean, Santiago was not a heavy puncher.
Yes.
And so we got to, you know, throw that out there. But Donaire definitely has been taking some shots. You could definitely take a sense, or you could see that, you know, he's aging and before our eyes. I mean, in this fight, definitely not looking like the old Nonito, and we weren't looking for the old Nonito, but at least, you know, some signs of that. But
unfortunately,
have not
you
seen
weren't looking for the old Nonito. Unfortunately,
just an old Nonito.
And you know, listen, he had beaten Gaballo and Nordine Ubali, good fighters, really good fighters, before he had the loss to Inoue the last time. So he had been performing well against them and has had his moments here tonight against a top bantamweight. He just hasn't been able to get over the hump.
Is a reason Father Time remains unbeaten, but a certified first ballot Hall of Famer at the age of 40. Nonito Donaire looking to dare to be great again, coming back from a knockout loss to Inoue to face this youngster, 27-year-old Alex Santiago, in order to become a champion again. For Santiago, went to a split draw the first time he challenged for a title at 115 pounds against German Ancajas. But tonight, inspired by the birth of his son 2 months ago, inspired by his family who run various hot dog stands around Tijuana, he is ready to deliver the biggest win of his life and keep his family well fed for many years to come. 15 seconds left. Alex Santiago, in his 36th professional fight, looking to knock off his idol. Nonito Donaire has the final curtain come down on his Hall of Fame career. So much to be impressed with when it comes to Alex Santiago. Again, part of our job, if you want to do it right, you watch tape, you break down athletes, Alan, and we saw so much more from Santiago than we've seen before. When you want to see it from him, the biggest fight of his life.
That's a very good point. We saw him do very good things against other fighters, but I think he did raise his level, and Nonito Donaire doing what you would expect Nonito Donaire to do.
Yeah, he's that type of fighter, that type of person outside the ring, really respectful, and he's giving Santiago his props.
And the numbers will demonstrate how well, to an extent, even though the total landed, according to show stats, identical. There's no question that Santiago took control of this fight in the second portion of it, and I thought really controlled this fight.
With the official decision, here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Max DeLuca, scores the bout 115 to 113. Chris Migliori and Steve Weisfeld both score the bout 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner. He is now the WBC Bantamweight Champion of the World, Alexandro Santiago.
What an incredible moment for 27-year-old Alex Santiago, the emotion, and how about the class act that is Nonito Donaire, who again, Santiago idolized him growing up, and in order to become a champion, he had to beat his idol. He did just that. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Moro, thank you very much. Felix will once again interpret for us. Alex, please describe this moment in beating your idol.
Por favor, describe este momento cuando tú le ganas a tu ídolo.
No, es un sentimiento que no puedo explicarte. Muchos sentimientos encontrados. Estoy muy contento, muy feliz por todo el trabajo, el esfuerzo que he realizado por años. Y pues gracias a Dios, aquí está.
It's so hard to explain this moment right now. All the work we put in for just this moment, it's great just to win this title.
What did Nonito say to you because it brought you to tears?
¿Qué te dijo Nonito que te puso a llorar?
No, que felicidades, campeón. Bien merecido. Bien agradecido, un honor pelear con un campeón como Nonito, una leyenda. Muy contento, la verdad.
It's been an honor to fight such a legend like Nonito Donaire, and he just told me that thank you for giving me this great fight.
How were you able to connect on so many well-placed punches throughout the course of this bout?
¿Por qué tú pudiste conectar con tanto conexiones que pegaron a Nonito? ¿Por qué?
Hemos trabajado desde que nos dijeron, estuvimos bien enfocados en Nonito, en ver sus errores, en ver qué podíamos trabajar, y pues gracias a Dios dio resultado.
No, we've been very focused, and in training camp we tried to find out the errors that Nonito was showing, and that's what we capitalized tonight.
Can you explain to us what this means to your family?
¿No puede explicar qué significa esto para tu familia?
No, pues en realidad eso es para mi familia, que siempre he estado ahí apoyándome, mi papá, mi mamá, mis hermanos, mi hijo que acaba de nacer, mi novia, para todos ellos, para mi esquina, don Rómulo Quirarte, Bobby, Robert, y para Paco, que siempre ha estado ahí también al pie del cañón.
No, everybody, especially my father and mother who supported me through all these years, especially my son that was born just a few days ago, and also my corner, Rómulo, and everybody else that was involved with me winning this fight.
They're all very proud of you. Congratulations, Alex. Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, Nonito. How you doing?
Disappointed, but first and foremost, I want to say thank you, everybody out here, all the people that supported me and came out here, man. This is a blessing for me to even do this for a very, very long time, you know, so I feel good still. You know, and a big congratulations to Alejandro. He deserves it. He's a tough guy.
What did you say to him because it brought him to tears?
No, I told him, you know, congratulations. You know, you have something for your kids now. You know, congratulations, you deserve it.
Nonito, you've had just a spectacular career, winning in 4 divisions and becoming a champion in all of those. What's left for you to prove, and will you continue?
Well, the thing is, I love the sport so much, you know, but the thing I told my wife, and who has the word, whether I have it or not and stuff like that, so we just got to go back to the locker room and talk to it and see where we go from there. But I know I felt good. There was just some things that just didn't trigger. You know, I didn't pull the trigger, and you know, that was my biggest problem.
Is that because you're 40? Are things different?
Oh, I say hell no to that. You know, I just was trying to counter so much. You know, I was just trying to put too much power into it. And that's why everybody in the corner was telling me, you got to calm down, use behind the jab. And that's what we practice. But there's just that remnant of wanting to fight like a warrior. And that's what I did, which was something we didn't train.
Nonito, thank you. Hall of Fame career.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
your time.
Everybody out there, much love to y'all, man. I appreciate you. You guys enjoyed the fight. You know, this is going to be a spectacular night, so I hope you guys got a spectacular night. I gave it all, but I appreciate you all.
Thank you, and we appreciate you.
One more time. I just want to say thank you to Al for giving me this opportunity, and most of all to my really good friend who's been there from the very beginning for me since we got together, Richard Schaefer. Thank you, man. I love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Nonito. All right, Mauro, back to you.
All right, Jim. Well, it cannot be easy for Nonito Donaire to walk away from a profession that is, well, constituted 55% of his life. And instead, tonight, though, belongs to Alex Santiago, who wins his first championship at 118 pounds.